You've looked over the two teams that are playing tonight?
Of course I have.
And they are?
Excuse me?
And they are?
We actually got a good game tonight, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. At least we got superstars to watch.
Yeah. We got your boy, Kevin O'Connell, on the sidelines.
He still is not returning my phone calls.
Against one of my favorite coaches,
The Rams?
Sean, what's his name?
McVay.
Sean McVay. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, give that guy one Super Bowl and he thinks he invented the game.
The Vikings, Rams will follow our show today.
Yeah.
We'll have a sports court.
Oh.
Chris and I will get our wigs together. We both have wigs now.
Yes.
Whoa, I can't wait. We haven't seen you in the wig yet.
No, you
Nate,
haven't.
if you're out there, your wig's going to be used today.
Your wig
What
is
time is the
2:40.
2:40.
240.
And no more memes of me looking like I'm from the 1600s with a pitchfork.
No,
or somebody.
actually, we need more of
Actually,
those.
that was pretty funny.
That was
whatever
pretty funny.
somebody did last week put
Well,
the wig on me. That
We
was
had
funny.
a major upset in the Daily Gambit. We'll get to that in the 3 o'clock hour. But first, let's talk a little Padre baseball. At least at least according to the Sporting News,
yeah.
Rookie of the Year, Jackson Merrill.
Yeah.
Give it up. Give it up for Jackson Merrill. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Why do you sound so disappointed?
I congratulate him, of course, but that and a quarter will get you a cup of coffee. I mean, well, not a quarter anymore. That and
You need
$4
$5, I
and,
was
that
gonna
and
say.
$4.30 will get you a cup of coffee. Because whoever wins the Baseball Writers Association Rookie of the Year, which they will announce after the season, is what everybody's going to remember. Nobody goes, well, I don't know. Ken Caminiti was the 1996 NL MVP, but Andres Galarraga won the Sporting News Award. Nobody remembers who won the Sporting News
That's
Award.
true. That's true.
So, I mean,
It's not a precursor.
It's just not
to you getting another award.
I mean, we know Jackson should get the whole thing. I don't really need Sporting News to remind me, but it is a nice honor for him. It's well deserved. We all agree with that. But unless he wins the Rookie of the Year award, the big one, we're going to have to deal with Paul Skeens.
I know it doesn't really matter in the scheme of things, but it does matter because there are excuse me, I'm getting choked up over here. There is at least, people out there in the sports news world that do believe Jackson Merrill's Rookie of the Year, and I think that's good that they're not just going with the flow, picking Paul Skeens to look good. They're going against the grain.
That's
I
all.
like
That's all fine and dandy. But do any of these sporting people have votes? If they don't have any votes, it really doesn't mean.
Not
much at
sure.
this
Maybe
point.
that's why they created their own award.
That might be.
I mean, we could have our own award on this show.
Yeah,
the Gwynn and Chris Rookie
win
of the Year.
Yeah, he'd win
Jackson
unanimously.
Merrill.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, guys.
Second place, Jackson Churio. Third place, what's his name? Mason Wynn.
He was going to look for
I'm
somebody.
sticking Skeens as far down as I can. We're going to honor those people.
Fine.
It's good. I mean, he deserves this. We know that. And I'm still preparing for the worst when the
too.
real award is announced.
Yeah, I mean that'll be sometime after the World Series, and I mean at least from the folks we actually had a voter on, and although he didn't give us much to go on, Matt Snyder certainly seemed to agree that
He seemed to be leaning the wrong way.
He did,
And Matt
Without
is
saying
the
anything.
biggest Padre guy we have.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves the Padres. He's always bullish on the Padres. And he's
been
certainly
bullish on the Padres for like the last 3-4 years.
right. And
Yeah.
he's certainly sharp enough of a national media guy to know how good Jackson Merrill was. I'm worried, so if he's voting for Paul Skeens, what are the guys that are East Coast bias people? And we know they're out there. There's no chance they're going to vote for Jackson. So that's what, I'm worried about. And anytime I'm on the East Coast, Tony, and I was, a few weeks ago, it is amazing how little the West Coast exists there. You just don't realize, what's happening on the West Coast. None of that happens on the East Coast. It doesn't get any reporting at night before you go to bed because the game isn't over yet. And then when they do talk about it, it's in the morning when you're getting ready to go to work. And then by that time, they get home, the next day news is out.
We had Cody Decker on last week, and he said the East Coast bias is 100% real.
100% real, no doubt. So
Yeah.
Jackson's fighting that battle, but congratulations for winning the Sporting News Award?
Those who are waiting on the automated strike zone.
Ah, boy. Me. That's me. Let me put
you're,
my hand
you're not
up.
waiting on it. You're hoping it doesn't ever come.
I'm not waiting on it.
Right.
I'm just doomed knowing that it's going to be coming.
Well, I think Mr. Manfred bought you some time.
Oh, he did?
He did.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
They have been pushing for like the last 4 or 5 years that this automated strike zone was right around the corner.
Okay.
And you and I have talked about it. And
She'll be coming around the mountain.
She'll be coming around the mountain.
When she comes.
You and I have had this conversation about the issues that it's been having in terms of finding ways so that the strike zone fits what we have known it to be our whole entire lives, right? Because one of the issues they were having was you threw a breaking ball that ended up bouncing in the dirt.
And it would catch
It
the
would
bottom
catch
of
the bottom of the zone
before
but
it hit
was
the dirt.
completely unhittable, right?
Right.
And
And it's a ball to most of us.
So that has been the holdup.
Have they been able to fix that?
Apparently not.
I mean, how are they going to be able to fix that? I don't get it.
My guess is they're not there yet. They're making progress, but they haven't quite figured out how to get there yet, which is why Rob Manfred expects MLB to use the automatic strike zone within the next 4 years.
Oh.
So, what?
Yeah.
After the next Olympics.
He said on the Dan Patrick show, he said, I think we will see some version of the automatic strike zone in the big leagues in the next 4 years. The technology piece is so robust. Literally, the path of the pitches is tracked good to 1/100th of an inch. It's hard to ignore the technology. But what he's not saying is that although it may be hard to ignore the technology, clearly it is not where it needs to be in order to be in a big show.
I would think if it was, he would be willing to say, let's bring it on in.
1,000%. They're
So
using
it's obviously not there.
They're using it in some form in the minor leagues. I think it's the challenge episode. Or
The challenge thing looks okay
And it looks
if
like-
it works right, but I don't know that it's going to work right every time.
And
the videos I've seen of it, it's like the guy raises his hand, the ump
It's
goes,
quick,
you're right,
too.
and that's it.
Yeah, it moves
But,
on.
I have a feeling there's a few more hiccups than that we haven't seen. And the other thing is, Tony, they've got to. I think baseball's got to come in and tell themselves, right? Because MLB actually produces the Padre telecast, right?
Yeah.
MLB does that, and all the other local broadcasts, or most of the other ones. The local broadcast on Fox or on Padre Network, right? 305 for my Spectrum cable. And yes, I'm never going to unplug.
Cord cut.
That's right. No cord cutting
Chris
for
will be
me.
watching static
I will.
before he gets
I
his
will.
streaming
I'm
device.
not streaming. I can't do it.
Wait, real quick, off subject, but
Yeah.
I was listening to one of the games. One of the NBA teams is sending out actual antennas because they're doing all of their games.
Oh, is it the Suns?
It might be the
I
Suns.
think because the
Bunny
Suns
ears,
are
they
doing,
kept calling them.
Yeah,
right?
they're
There's
doing mostly local produced
all
broadcasts.
yeah. So they're sending out to everybody who wants a antennas. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I digress.
Well, have them send me one. But I think what they need to do on those local Padre telecasts, I think you're going to agree with me, Tony. They need to take the white line out of the picture
Yeah.
that shows the strike zone.
got to.
And replace it with what they're doing now,
Which is
on
like
the Fox telecast, which if you really want to see it, you can see it, but it's not bothering you. It's not there because too many people at home and, might I say, announcers
Think they
look
know-
at that
Yep.
and think that they got a ball or a strike based on that every time. And we know that white line might be good for inside and outside, but it doesn't move to adjust to the height of the batter.
Yeah.
So they've got to get that off of there because too many people are seeing that and go, oh, they're missing all these calls.
It adjusts. It just doesn't adjust accurately. It's not
Right.
It's not a perfect science when it comes up and down. It's a great point, and I love what they're doing with the playoffs right now. Since the playoffs started,
Yeah.
they have made that rectangle box almost invisible.
Right,
Like you
it's
can
there if
see
you
it,
really want to see it.
but it's not like.
I like it.
It makes you less of an umpire.
I
You're
like
now
it.
just watching the game. a
Enjoy
little
the
bit.
game.
Yeah.
Stop umpiring the game. And, I believe, I could be wrong on this, Tony, because I don't run the website itself, but the website that publishes every day after a baseball game the umpire scorecard, I'm pretty sure they're using those white lines to determine what's a strike and what's a ball and what's a correct call and what's not. I think a lot of times they get a 90% and they should get a 95. Maybe other times they get a 95 and they should get a 90.
Right.
But I don't know that white line is that accurate.
I have looked to see where these umpire scorecards are coming from, and they are getting the StatCast data and using that. They're not using what's on the screen.
That's good.
Well,
so it means it's accurate.
That's great.
Chris is like, that's
It
great.
is. You know what? Because we don't need to be every single ball strike call does not need to be right. It just doesn't.
You said that you were, how did you phrase it? You were saying that, can we just enjoy the game?
Yeah,
Is
watch
it part
the
of
game.
the game arguing with an umpire?
No,
as a
not
fan?
on every single pitch.
I think there is something
Come
to
on, man.
arguing when you have a thought of it being, and then arguing like, oh, for sure, I saw it, and it was a strike or a ball, or however you see it. I do know for a fact that in terms of the box you see, that is put on there by the TV company. It's not Major League Baseball doing it. So although they have the parameters, as Chris said, east and west, meaning strike zone, east and west, up and down, it's not a perfect thing. So it's not always correct. Because I've heard umpires say, well, you're looking at the TV. That thing it's not completely accurate. And so.
Well,
they're not getting graded, by the way, off of what we see on that TV.
All right, that's better. But like, for example, when they show a check swing on television, you're seeing it from the camera in the dugout, and you're reacting as a fan, going, "Oh, that was a swing. That wasn't a swing."
That's not the angle he's
but
looking
the
at.
umpire's not standing in the dugout.
he's not.
He's standing on the first base line. That's a different
Did you
look.
see the check swing?
Yes.
Joint they got going where it's like
It happened last night.
a computer technology. I think it's in the Arizona Fall League right now.
It is.
Computer technology.
Oh, so they're going to start doing that automatically too?
They're looking at it.
Oh, thank goodness.
I'm going to pull this
They're
up
looking at it.
because
When did we all have to live in a perfect world, a perfect society? When did that happen? When I wasn't notified.
Yeah,
I see. This is very strange that Chris is so upset about this. He's an official. Don't you want to get things right as an
I
official?
do want to get things right, but I also don't
see
want the
what Chris-
coach yelling and screaming at every single time I blow my whistle. I think it ruins the game. And I think if you're going to sit and watch a ball game and complain about every single strike and ball, you're not going to even watch a baseball anymore. It turns into I hate the umpire. I don't know. These guys get 98% right. The ones they miss by an inch. Or, except Angel, and he's out of the league. So
hold on, I'm putting this. Chris, go to your video screen so you can see this. And if you haven't, or if you are in the car right now, you can go back to our YouTube, just search 97.3 The Fan and look at the first segment. But I'm going to share this little video of them reviewing a check swing.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird, I gotta say. Sorry, I'm taking forever to do this so you guys can see it.
You need to hurry up because we're running late.
I know.
We're past 13. It's already 14 now.
I'm aware.
Pick it up, buddy.
I'm trying. I can't find my.
Well, how about you do that?
I can't find it.
And I'll get us to break.
Oh, here I got it. Here we go.
Okay,
here we
he
go.
wants to get it up there.
Here we go. So, Chris, are you watching it right now?
The check swing has been challenged. They have the computer
They go
simulation
above.
of a bat.
I'm gonna need a.
And then they put an arbitrary line in there
It's
to
a
determine
45-degree angle.
So if they pass the 45-degree angle, it's determined to be a swing.
I will give you the exact wording behind it.
If I'm not, we need to get the rule book out too, because if I'm not mistaken, there's nothing in there about 45-degree angle. So they're gonna have to implant that.
Yeah, I don't know when they decided that.
Here's how Baseball America's Josh Norris explains it. The video board animation goes like this. First, it shows the movement of the bat from the side. Next, it shifts to an overhead view with the bat frozen in its final position. Then a dotted line is drawn through the barrel and knob of the bat. If the bat's barrel is judged to have traveled more than 45 degrees past its final stopping point, then it is judged a swing. If less than 45 degrees, no swing. It is not clear which way the call will go if the barrel lands exactly.
How about the catcher just
45
throws the
degrees?
ball back and the guy throws the next pitch? Huh? How about that?
What is
Listen,
happening?
I will say this.
What do you mean what's
You're
happening?
so upset about something that's 4 years away.
This one in particular,
Well,
I
I'm getting
wouldn't
ready
mind.
to be ticked off.
I wouldn't mind because it's probably the hardest one to call. Like even from the angles that the umpire.
Oh, the check swing is a total guessing
It's
game.
a complete.
Those guys are guessing down there. They have no clue.
All right, let's get to break. We got more to discuss on the other side. lock in for a 2.5-hour show of Gwynn and Chris.
Do you want to go out for a great meal? We are off and rolling here. Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr., and Matt Scraby. No Scraby Chronicles today because we are headed towards Thursday night football, Vikings and Rams. Can hear it right here on 97.3 The Fan, since if you're like me, you're not going to watch it because you don't stream football games. You want
we
them
went
on
to
your
lunch
TV.
today. Tony, we went to lunch today.
He was there. He's
I
aware.
was there.
I didn't see this Chris at lunch. The Chris at lunch was a very happy-go-lucky, fun. Now he's just trashing anything and everything.
I got him going early with the strike
You bring
zone.
up the strike zone. You know I'm going to get
got
fried
him going
about
early
that.
there, and he's just set off downhill since
He's
that
like, you
point.
can listen right here because I'm not going to be listening
Well,
or watching.
Look, it's a good thing I'm a basketball official now, because in the next 10 or 15 years, they're going to tell me that computers and tracking systems can start calling fouls and start calling traveling. And, you've already got, look, in the NBA, you've already got replay on practically every call in the fourth quarter. It just, the world is not meant to be perfect. Fight through it. If you get a bad call, fight through it. Show me something. Anyway, that's what I think.
All right.
That's not what anybody else thinks. We're on the, everybody agrees with you guys. They want the perfect world out there, so they'll get it in 4 years. Dodgers are going to honor, as they should, Fernando Valenzuela. He'll have a patch, or they'll be wearing a patch in his honor during the World Series, which, of course, starts tomorrow. I call attention to that because yesterday we had Dylan Hernandez on. And, guys, I must tell you, I read Dylan's column today in the LA Times about Fernando, and I had tears in my eyes. He just did a wonderful job. If you want to read a great article about the great Fernando and what he meant, not just to the fans in LA but to the fans, baseball fans everywhere, highly recommend you call up, what is it, latimes.com or something, and find Dylan Hernandez's article. It's really touching.
Too, by the way.
Forget it.
They charge.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
How did you get it then?
Because and I don't know. Ask the San Diego Union Tribune this, but I get that paper, and for some reason they throw an LA Times on my driveway as well.
It's legit.
Well, we do know you're a secret Dodger lover, so
That's right. I'm so happy to read that Dodger news. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll go home and get the article. I'll read it to everybody, but it's really good. I wish you could read it. Dylan did a great job. World Series does start, of course, tomorrow, and we'll talk, I'm sure, a little bit more about it tomorrow. Are we going to go as far as to make a pick, on who's going to win this thing, or should we just should we just fake like we don't care so much that we can't make a pick?
Yo, this reliever effectiveness article is long.
I know.
Super long. I thought I was going to have
read it.
I thought I was going to have a quick chance to come in here and have
explain what you're doing. Because Scraby sent you this during the break.
I had to read it.
How did we even get to this?
Because
I know we were talking the strike zone, and then during the break you brought up something
because
about
I read that Emmanuel Clase, instead of it being because they saw him so many times in the postseason, it was more that he threw a bad pitch that ended up, or three bad pitches that ended up going for home
And so,
runs.
ladies and gentlemen, you know by now, when Scraby said it, I immediately was like, that doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna read the article to make sure he's got it right.
Well,
so
somebody's
far,
writing
so
an
good.
article that says of every pitch Emmanuel Clase ever threw in his life,
And this said
these
Chris
were the
Wolf as
three
well.
worst.
I don't understand why it's so hard for you to think like it's easy to research
Who
that.
could how many pitches do you think this guy's thrown in his career?
Chris, you
Somebody
go into-
researched every pitch?
You go into the Baseball Savant website, you put some parameters on it, and there you go.
I got an idea.
You can have all of the spin rates from every one of his sliders he's ever thrown.
You know what?
I would.
If they got rid of the Baseball Savant webpage, I wouldn't miss it for a second.
I would find it hard to believe. Like, you can go research the pitch, you can get the spin rate, but you still need to like see it video wise with your eyes and all that. And
location, the time of the pitch,
that
the
means he would have
selection of it.
He'd have to watch a lot of pitches from Class A. But either way, I'm reading the article. When I finish it, I'll have more for you guys. Sorry,
Well,
I
Back to
digress.
Chris's question, though.
You're
I
wasting
digress.
your time.
I think we should pick a winner.
All right, we'll pick a winner of the World Series
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
All right, we'll do
World
that.
Series winner, MVP.
Of the series?
Yes.
How many games it's going to go?
Yeah. There you
All
go.
right, we'll do all that tomorrow. Give you a little look-see at the World Series.
A little look-see.
A little look-see. Evidently, let's see. We got Mark Carlson. Do you know this guy, Tony?
Do I know Mark Carlson?
Umpire
Yes.
Mike Carlson. He's
Good,
the
good umpire. He's from Juliet.
Juliet.
Where Mark Grant is from. Illinois?
Joliet.
Joliet, excuse me.
Thank you. Juliet was married to Romeo. Joliet is a city in Illinois. So that's what confused me. That's what confused me. I
1
didn't know.
o'clock and 1:50.
He's picking out everything.
It confused me. I didn't know
I
where he
said
was
people's names, not cities that I wanted
from.
to
All
get
right,
better
thank
at.
you.
Gosh.
Mark Carlson is the World Series crew
Good umpire.
chief.
Good
Yeah,
umpire.
He's
Good
the
dude.
world. And speaking of
Who
Mark,
else we got?
well, we got. I'll read you those guys in a second. I just got off that page. Because speaking of Mark Grant,
Happy
Funny
birthday,
Brinson.
Mark!
today's his birthday.
Yes.
Today's his birthday. So happy
Mud
birthday
Cat.
to Mud Cat out
Happy
there.
birthday, brother.
We're obviously huge fans, and
You know he's enjoying himself thoroughly somewhere.
he's got the show with took the show.
Hey, he
along.
listens to our show often.
I'm sure.
He does. I get texts from him through other shows for sure.
And let's just be specifically correct in case he is listening. He was actually born in Aurora, Illinois. Grew up in Joliet. Sorry, Tony.
He's on fire today.
Tony's just gonna
He's on fire.
Go home.
he's gonna come over here and deck me here in a minute.
Go home.
I've never heard Mudcat, claim the birthplace. I've heard him.
I know
claim
he's talked Joliet.
often.
He's definitely talked Joliet often.
I have the
Other
Class A
umpires.
stuff.
Wait, real quick. Other umpires, real quick.
He wants the other umpires.
I
We
need
got
other
Mark
umpires.
Carlson behind home plate.
Good.
Actually, he'll be at first base.
Okay.
Doug Eddings will be at second.
Whew.
Our guy Mark Ripperger, who was in the Padre Dodger series, will be at third.
San Diego native.
All right. Chad Fairchild will be in left.
I like Chad too.
Todd
He's a little grumpy.
Tishner
Tishner. Good
in
guy.
right.
Love Todd.
And behind the home plate, Carlos Torres.
Oh.
46-year-old Carlos Torres will work the plate for the opener.
Carlos-
that means he gets Game 7 if it comes down to it.
You're
you're not a fan of that?
Nah, he was the one who called that what should have been extra bases in the Mets series. Called that ball foul. The ball looked like it went right over the bag. I think it was the series before the Dodgers series. So either way,
Okay.
he's not my favorite.
That's your crew.
It's my scouting report on
Of course,
on the Umpire.
and since we must know, here's their accuracy rates for the season behind the plate. Ripperger led the way 94.8. The rest of them 94.4, 94.2,
What's
93.8, 93.6, 93.4, and Fletcher was last at 93.1. Torres was third. My point is 93 to
Those are all
95
good
isn't
numbers.
bad.
Those are good numbers.
But you need 100, right, Scrape? You need 100. You want every
I never
call
said
right.
that.
You did, Scrappy. You said
Well,
you needed 100.
you're railing against the fact that I'm railing against that, so you must.
Well, then I'm going to rail against
adding-
the fact that you're railing against the fact that I'm railing
adding
against
2
that.
and 2 together. I'm getting 4, and you're obviously against me on this
Chris,
one.
I do not care about whether or not they get every single pitch right. I don't think it's that big of a deal, though, if we are able to challenge pitchers and get things right. Because what if the Padres lose a World Series one day
They already did.
because of a
In
bad pitch or bad
1998.
call?
In
Mark
1998,
Langston.
yes.
Yes.
Did they lose the series because
Basically.
of it?
Pretty much.
Basically.
They
Pretty
didn't win a
much.
game in the series.
But
Yeah, but
they
they
would have
would've
won
won that
game,
one.
and it would have changed the whole thing.
Could have changed the complexion of things. Padre fans will never forget it.
It was funny. I talked to Mark about it when we went to Anaheim a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still,
Right down the middle.
It's still crisp in his mind.
Right?
Too.
Who was the umpire? Garcia?
Oh, I don't
Was
know.
it,
I don't know. Who the
I thought it was Rich Garcia.
That sounds right. Sounds
Yeah.
Similar
I think
like
so.
that.
All right.
As long as this whole process doesn't really slow down the game as much as a real replay review,
You're good with it.
then it's all good. Because from what I've seen from
I know-
the strike thing, it's really quick.
I know the umpires want it.
they do.
They do want it.
They want people off their
Mike
back.
Winters, I've definitely talked to him about it a couple times. They want it. They want to get the call right ultimately. So,
Well, I think Scraby might be closer to the actual truth. They want everybody leaving them alone.
I'm
and
sure.
And so if they are backed up
I'm
by some
sure.
sort of computer system, then people like Aaron Boone can't call them the F word after every other pitch.
it's not just the
Which
athletes.
is, you know what he's doing over there. It's
not
ridiculous.
It's not just the athletes on social media, by the way. I mean, those umpires see those grades. They see all of that stuff.
Yes, they
for
do.
sure.
I'm sure.
So,
If I was an umpire, I would look up my grade for sure, and then I would start railing against whoever came up with it.
Okay.
We don't want to be late for a break. Sports
Thank
Court
you.
is next. We will don our wigs. Be careful stepping into my courtroom today.
No.
Yeah, no kidding.
You're
who
going to
knows?
prison for life for anything.
Locking the key or the whole thing. Gwynn and Chris keeps rolling.
Ben and Woods.
on the clock. Court is about to be in session, ladies and gentlemen.
How do we look? Absurd.
Absurd. This thing is hot on my
you
head.
especially with your headphones going over the top of it.
I mean, it's my hair. I gotta. That's how it would go if I had hair.
It was. That's right.
You know. Sports court lining up for you.
Scrape, I think you got to get one too. Just as a bailiff.
I'm not going to make Nate buy a third one, okay?
Yeah, Nate, you've been cool, man. Thanks for doing that.
You got the glasses on. All right.
Order!
Let's get right to sports court.
Oh, wait.
Wait,
oh,
nope,
man,
not yet.
This is a me problem. I didn't have it ready.
That's a good thing we don't expect perfection on this show like they expect in baseball.
He's got
and
the
everything
glasses,
else.
he got wigs, but he actually doesn't have
definitely-
the thing that we need, which is
I was enjoying your wig. Okay, here we
We'll
go.
wait.
Do you need a third party to make a decision? The guys have put on their robes and picked up their gavels.
All rise. Here comes the judge.
Gwynn and Chris Sports Court starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
actually my hair looks a lot like Brent Honeywell's.
Oh my gosh, it does.
I got a little longer party in the back than he does, but we both are rocking the mullet right now.
I didn't realize that the judges in the 1700s all rocked mullets.
I know.
But apparently that's
Did
the
you
kind of
know
way
in
it
This is the
England?
look.
I don't know if they do this anymore, but I watched a show where they have to wear the little
Yeah,
wig.
no,
when
there
doing
are barristers.
barristers. That's what
They
it's
do
called.
wear these wigs once in a while in court in England. I don't know if it's but I did see the same show.
Wait, time out. This is like a real court?
Yeah, real court
Yeah,
in
no, it's an
England
England
in this
court,
day
yeah.
and age, and the lawyers had these on.
Yes, they do. You're
That's
right.
true.
Yeah.
That's I saw the same show.
the
I think you
lawyers
did. I don't know
have
what
it
show.
on?
It was.
The
The
lawyers, yeah.
the lawyers were.
I knew someone in the courtroom
arguing the
did.
case with this on.
Is there like a punishment if you don't wear the wig?
I don't know what to do.
I don't think you can be a lawyer if you
That's
don't wear the wig.
wild.
I don't know why they still
We
wear
gotta
the
we
wig.
gotta get to the bottom of that. I'll try to get to the
That's
bottom
funny.
of it.
All right. There is something that bothers me about Brett Honeywell being in the World
Stop
Series.
being a
but-
hater, man.
I'm
know
a
how many-
hater
You know how
because-
many Padre tentacles is in this
Oh,
World
so
Series?
many. But
Yeah.
it's like specifically someone who never mind.
Let it go.
Order. Order.
Do you have a problem with Tim Hill being in the World Series?
No, I love that Tim Hill's
he's
in the
okay.
World Series because Tim Hill was, he worked hard. It's not like he was
Brett Honeywell worked hard too.
okay, but Brett Honeywell wasn't good like Tim Hill was.
Okay,
According to this, real quick, 2007, a change in the rules. 2007 meant barristers no longer needed to wear the wig.
oh, so now they just wear
They're no
it.
longer required.
They're just wearing it for fun now. Huh?
Maybe some of them still,
Little
yeah, right.
dress up.
Some of them are. I guess you're
would.
allowed to wear it.
You're
it's
taking
not-
more
it's not
seriously. I
required.
feel
Yeah, I'm sure they're taking me and Chris very seriously right now.
Everybody is loving it on the chat right now. All right, here we go with the first one.
This all originated in Europe. King Charles II in 1660. Go ahead.
Brandon,
wig thing.
Brandon's also reminding me that Enlil De Los Santos gets a ring if the Yankees win, so I guess I should
He
be
does.
angry
He
about that
does.
too.
You might
All
have
right.
to root for the Dodgers then.
This is about a conspiracy.
But first of all, you are not a judge. Please stop banging the gavel.
I am the.
You're not there. There's no other
Order!
reason. There's no reason. Here, give me the gavel. Give me the gavel. Hand it over,
I
sir.
don't want to.
Hand over the gavel.
There's so much power.
Yeah, I
with the
know.
gavel.
You don't need it though.
Next time, wear a security uniform.
You're just a
Since
clerk.
You're the
I'm
bailiff.
a bailiff.
You're just
You're
a
a
bailiff.
bailiff
yeah.
now.
You're a bailiff.
Yeah.
I am the prosecuting attorney.
No,
okay?
no, you're not. Go ahead.
Well, then
bailiff.
you got to have a
Bailiff?
wig. I got an idea. Bailiff, read the case and then shush.
Okay. I have found myself somewhere I can't believe. My best friend since elementary school is a believer in a conspiracy theory that I even heard Scraby didn't even believe in. My friend truly thinks Major League Baseball fixed the
Oh.
Padres series against the Dodgers. I thought at first he was just coping, but now it's becoming sad. And he does this in front of people, and they have the same reaction as I do. They think he's joking, but then he does that thing where he's so dug in, you finally realize it's not a joke and it's a real feeling. I'm not going to stop being friends with him, but I don't know what I can do to put this behind us. Chris, has sports ever caused a rift between you and your friend?
Is that something for the court
That's
to
a-
decide?
I guess so.
What kind of case is this?
I mean, okay. The case is like, okay, fine.
No, I don't get the question. I mean,
Well, this is the
What are
question
we
they wanted me
deciding?
to ask, but I will change the question, and I will say,
should he be asking whether or not he should
be
keep
his
his
friend.
friendship?
Yeah,
sure,
that should
sure,
be the
because I
question.
feel like keeping a friendship though is too much. I mean,
No,
like,
I think it's a waste of your time. Move on. Get a better, smarter friend. Come on. There's better, smarter people out there. There just are. I mean, if you're hanging out with somebody that's lunatic, that
Yeah.
is convinced,
Yeah.
seriously convinced that, the baseball made the Padres throw the series. I mean, I don't know. Did you see a bad call anywhere, Tony, that we could point to?
No,
I didn't
can't.
see one. So, yeah, that's my answer. Get better friends.
Get back, yeah, that's
Yeah.
this is
you're
this.
his
we're cleaning
best friend since
we're-
elementary
yeah,
school.
Look, there's other fish in the sea.
Sometimes you gotta know when to let it go.
Know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Know when to fold up.
you guys are cold, man.
Get this out of my courtroom.
Why don't you have a real situation where you sit down and be like, "Hey, I understand you're hurting after that."
Well, apparently
But, like,
he's
you
tried
gotta
that.
It sounds like he's gone
kind of
that route.
tried that, and the
Sounds
guys,
like-
Yeah, it doesn't really
he
say.
digs in further.
He digs in further.
Yeah,
That's when
that-
you have to have the talk of like,
Yeah.
"Hey, bro, you are looking crazy
Some
right now."
people aren't worth being saved. They're just not.
Wow, you guys are ready to get rid of a
Gotta
friend
go.
since elementary school.
Gotta go, buddy.
These are harsh judges.
Next
Jeez.
case,
Oh wow.
bailiff.
I hate being called bailiff. It makes me feel like I'm back in elementary school when people used to say stuff I hated. Hey guys, this actually came in earlier. My friends and I are listening to your show and are driving up to SoFi Stadium right now.
Get this for this case.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thanks for all the afternoons of fun. We heard you were going to do a sports court, so here it is. Our parking pass we got for the game tonight was $150 for a premier lot near the stadium.
This is postseason.
This is today. Like literally today. They messaged me today about going to see the Rams and Vikings.
Oh,
okay,
Rams,
okay,
Vikings.
okay.
Yes,
I was-
I've heard that it is a nightmare at SoFi.
I've
for
been 3
parking.
times, and
150.
it's expensive, and it is a nightmare to get out of there.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
$150 for the premier lot near the stadium.
And that's ordering it ahead of time.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, right.
The reason we are going to the game is because it's our buddy's birthday and we bought the tickets. Now he's saying he doesn't want to chip in for parking because it's his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to abide by your guys' decision.
How many
Tony?
people are there total here?
Oh, didn't
Do we
say.
know? Is it just maybe 3?
I'm going to say 3 or 4
3 or 4, and the one guy doesn't want to pay his part of the
because
parking
it's
because
his
it's
birthday.
his birthday.
But they bought the tickets too. Tony, does your birthday buddy have to chip in for parking?
I'm gonna say no. It's his birthday.
Come on, take care
Yeah,
of
I
him.
mean, if you spent
You
the
already
money,
plunked down
Yeah,
the $700 on the
you spent
tickets.
the money on the tickets.
Yeah.
Go the full distance as a friend here.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
That is expensive to be a friend.
Hey,
you can't.
You
Wait a minute, why is
go
the
to-
bailiff talking so much over there? I don't get
The
it.
bailiff is a part of this court.
Get this bailiff out of here.
It's the worst bailiff I've ever
The bailiff
seen.
is a part of this court.
You're supposed to read the charges and then get out.
Bailiff?
The bailiff is a part of this court.
Whatever.
Apparently.
Yeah, no, I think you've already decided to make the decision to spend the $700. What's the extra 150? You got 3 of y'all to split it between. I think y'all can get that done for your buddy. It's his birthday.
You know, in the mood I'm in agreement with Tony, but there is a part of me that says, drop him off beyond where the parking would be and have him get there from there. Yes. Since he doesn't want to pay for the parking.
Objection.
Drop him outside the parking area.
Overruled.
Yeah.
I'm the bailiff. I overrule the overruler.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I think you got to just pay it up. But
Someone called me a Timu bailiff. Do you know what that is? That channel Timu and those terrible movies that they make.
I have not.
I've heard people who've tried to skirt the parking at SoFi, and it like you can't even do it
Oh, well, there's a lot of
unless you park honestly 10 miles away or something and walk
because
in.
they do block off a lot of the
Yeah,
neighborhoods now.
there's
When
just
we
no
were trying
way.
to go out, there's no way to get through the neighborhoods. Like they have a bunch of cones up and barriers so that you can't do that because people were just cutting through
I'd be
neighborhoods.
irritated if I lived in a
Can
I
neighborhood.
mean, you buy a
people's
house or you live in a house across the
you
street from SoFi.
When you bought the
gotta-
house, it wasn't a SoFi there.
That's true. I hope. That's true. That's true.
I mean, can any of these politicians who are running for office do something about the prices for parking at sporting events?
We got to talk
Because
about
honestly, they gouge you pretty much wherever you go. That includes here, there.
We got to talk about this a little bit
Everywhere.
later too, because the Intuit Dome last night, everybody was excited
Clippers,
that it
that's
opened.
the Clippers
Yeah.
Bogus
which is
Arena.
right across the street from SoFi. It's like walking
I'm sure
distance.
parking for that's similar.
It was $70 for general parking.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And someone was arguing the point that sports are pricing out new fans and pricing out, middle class people because it's so.
I mean, a lot of us have just kind of said, we expect this now, but it really isn't fair. You've got to pay to park. You got to park to go to their game, so they know that, and I think they're just being ridiculous with the prices.
One
on
of the
that.
best things that used to happen at Staples was like the businesses around there would turn their places into parking lots, and you could just hide it. You could just pay whatever they were charging.
Yeah.
Now they have monetized the whole thing.
Yeah,
like they ain't
yeah.
letting none of that parking get outside of their kind of parking lot.
I've been in the parking business before. When I lived in the fraternity at San Diego State, we were right across the street from the campus. And whenever they would have an event at the amphitheater,
people wanted to pay.
we would
get closer.
everybody would pull their cars out of our lot, and then we would wave people in,
Charge
about $1.50 per car, so that we could get to $42 and go buy a keg.
That's
Pretty much what we did.
All everybody was
All we were
thinking about.
concerned about.
How do we get the keg money?
Yeah, there's 23 parking lot spots. We need $42 for a keg. That's $2.09 or
my
whatever.
friend, is not gouging.
No.
They could have ran
Yes,
that price
right.
up, and people would have paid it.
They would have. We just wanted our keg money.
One of the keg money.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think you
Cake
guys are
stand.
crazy. Make this guy pay for some of the parking because you've already dropped the $700. Like
Hey,
Chris
it doesn't
said.
matter what
I
you
know.
think.
His birthday.
I know
It doesn't matter what you think,
It's
buddy.
hilarious because I can see it in Tony's face that he's going to call me the bailiff again.
Bailiff, next case, please.
Brandon says, I parked at Home Depot across from Sports Arena once. It cost $300 to park there after it got towed. So I
Yeah, they will definitely tow you there. They will tow you for that stuff, yeah.
Nick says, parking at Snapdragon for a Wave game was $50. Tickets were only $10. $50 is ridiculous.
Well, Padre games are 50. I
It's
mean, let's call
ridiculous.
out everybody. I mean, Padres, Dodgers, Yankees,
The
Red
49ers
Sox, wherever.
parking, the
Parking
Chargers
is stupid, man. It's stupid. Come on.
Chargers had $200 parking when they first moved up there.
Be kind.
Rewind, man. Be kind and rewind.
Right.
All right, this one actually is really funny, and I've been holding on
That's
to it
only
for, a
for
little
you
bit.
blockbuster folks out there that knows what
Right.
Scraby was talking about there.
So infuriating when you get to the when you put in a movie and the
I
movie
didn't
was
mean
at
to
the
get
end.
you off, Bailiff. Get back to the case, please.
The bailiff is a part of this court. I play co-ed indoor soccer, and we have to play a team that is really good, and we aren't that great. They run up the score on us, but whatever, that's not my issue. My issue is that there is one dude that takes it way too seriously, and when there is a ball in the corner, he has checked some of the dudes into the wall, but the last game we played, he tripped my girlfriend and then checked her into a wall. I told her I am going to make sure to take a shot at him next time. She doesn't want me to, but I think it's only fair to check a guy into the boards if he checks women into the boards. Again, she does not want me to do this. Tony, you're up first. Should I check him into the boards?
Not only should you check him, you should get him when it's least expected. I mean, you should chum up to him, and catch him slipping. Catch him when he's least expected. But, it has to get done.
Is this a no checking league? Did I hear
I'm
that?
assuming it's no checking.
Yeah, you
I don't
got-
think you could check women into the boards.
Take a penalty then, buddy. You're going to have to take one. He checked. Not only did he trip your lady, he didn't check her into the boards, too.
Yeah. If I saw that happen
Diabolical.
to someone I cared about, I don't know that I would be able to hold my anger in right then and
that's
there.
the best part, is he's already got the jump. He let this slide. It's gone a week now, I'm sure, maybe longer. He's not expecting it. He's not.
I played a lot of pickup hockey, and we didn't have checking, but people ran into you, whether it be by accident or on purpose from time to time. And I held a grudge for months and months and months
I'm sure a
on
good
these
check
people.
does not feel good.
No, of course
are you
not.
kidding me?
No, you're getting crunched into that glass. No good.
Yeah.
So either get your retribution, or it's going to bother you for like 2-3 months. So tell your girlfriend that it's something you just must do.
And, there is the chance that your lovely girlfriend in the back of her mind is
She might
telling you,
like it.
telling you
Yeah,
not to
she
do
might
it.
like it.
but absolutely
defending
wants
her
you to
honor.
do it. Yes.
Come on, that's good.
It's got to be done.
And by the way,
Yeah,
after
that's
you
true.
check the guy into the boards and he's laying on the ice, have your wife come over and give an elbow drop
That would be phenomenal.
from the top rope.
Jack says some of the chippiest soccer games of my adult life are on that mini field. I can imagine. I've seen these games before.
No,
They're crazy.
I mean this is why I'm guessing this is probably why Tony is not a big fan of coming out and playing pickup softball sometimes. I mean, there's always people out there that take it way too seriously.
Yeah.
There just is.
A red card would be better than a rose.
It would be. At this point, you got to. This has to get done.
SJ said, check him and walk directly to the box like it ain't no thing.
No, but just you make sure when you check him, you Allen Iverson step over him.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
You got to do the step over.
You have to look down. You have to do that Patrick Mahomes thing.
The step over with a skate can be a little
It's-
dicey.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well,
You don't want
they're
to
playing
slip the
indoor
guy's
soccer.
arm or
that's
something.
what I thought.
Oh, it's indoor soccer.
That's
I thought it was hockey.
That's what the checking of the boards is so out of pocket.
got it. Okay. Yeah, no, this is ridiculous. Yeah.
Back to the parking. John says, we parked at Inglewood Library for a Chargers game last year. $45 and a shuttle to the game. Not cheap, but not that bad.
I'm telling you, those are the spots you got if
I
you
would
can
do
find
that.
them.
But that's
then you have to
sad.
wait for the bus on the way back.
They've eliminated so many of them
Does
now.
anybody agree, though, that $45 and being happy with it gives us an idea of just how bad parking is?
Yes,
Yes.
it tells us that they're gouging
Put
us.
it this way, and I think the NBA All-Star game was here in like 07, somewhere in that time, in LA. And I paid $45 at that time
Then.
to go get like parking like a random gas station where they were, letting people park.
Oh, yeah. When I was little, going to 49er games, we would park in someone's front yard and pay them $25.
That's the other joint too, right?
Literally, park in their front yard. Gracie said maybe she'll get her own revenge.
If she's down,
But
go
she
ahead.
doesn't want him to check him, so I'm assuming that
Probably
she doesn't want
it.
to.
Yeah, doesn't want that smoke. Nor should she want it.
Order, everybody.
You
I
didn't
think we
play
got
that
everything
one time.
ordered. Everything was in order except for you.
Yeah.
During that segment.
The judge is probably talking to the bailiff in that point because he's just letting things run amok like you do. Let's get to break. 3 o'clock.
I wonder if the judge in Britain actually goes in the back to remove his wig once in a while because it's getting sweaty in here.
This thing is itchy as hell. Let's get to break on the other side. Daily Gambit, there was a huge upset. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Here we go with hour number 2 of Gwynn and Chris. Thursday afternoon for you, headed towards Thursday night football. Vikings and Rams. Note for that game, Puka Nacua. Is that his name, Puka Nacua? Yeah.
It is.
He's
he hasn't played in a while.
back.
Yeah, they've activated him. The Rams have. So both Nacua and Cooper Kupp return to the Rams lineup for tonight's game. We will talk about them a little bit more, those two players in the Daily Gambit, which is coming up here shortly.
I have a question about Puka for
Is
you
it-
guys. It's a fantasy football related question.
All right.
And I think many people are wondering the same thing. Would you guys feel comfortable putting Puka in your lineups tonight after not
Nope.
playing since week 1?
Nope.
Here's why I would not, but that doesn't guarantee anything. I looked it up on DraftKings. His over-under for receiving yardage is 29.5. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to only get 29.5,
Yeah.
but they're not expecting him
Correct.
to play, a full slate.
I mean, he hasn't played since week 1,
Right.
so I'm not
Doesn't
going to
mean he
start
won't
him.
get 70 yards, but I don't think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Unless,
Thank you for
unless you have
confirming
no
my-
other options.
Confirming my decision.
All right. Glad to confirm your decision. I got one more thing in the NFL. Wide receiver Jamison Williams.
Oh, yes.
See this?
Yes,
Suspended
yes,
2 games
yes.
for a PED policy violation. Williams said 2 things. One, he's not appealing the decision. He's accepting it. And 2, the news comes as a complete surprise that I am still trying to understand. Doesn't everybody say that after they don't appeal? Or is it worth your while to just not appeal, take your punishment, even though you don't believe you didn't do anything?
I think isn't that what he's doing?
Yeah, it is.
That
Take
is
his-
what he's doing, but would you do that? I don't know that I'd want my name sullied in that way if I didn't do anything.
Basically, though, your original statement is why it doesn't matter. Because what did you say after you read that? Doesn't everybody say they didn't do it? Right? I mean,
Right, so
you're not going to change your opinion. You're in the back of our mind when we see PEDs,
we assume that he did
we
this.
assume that it's done,
Yes.
regardless of the circumstances, right?
But he claims, as everybody does, that he did nothing wrong. That's my point. If you claim you did nothing wrong, then fight it a little bit. To me,
I think that, eventually, I think it's strategic, right? You look at your schedule because that's probably going to push it another couple of weeks because they're going to have to go through a what you call arbitration hearing, right? And so,
this is the same guy that was suspended 4 games
For
last
gambling,
year
right?
for the gambling
Yeah.
policy.
By the way, if you've seen Jamison Williams, this dude is like 160 pounds, 70 pounds. He's probably one of the thinner dudes in all of football. Either way, what I don't understand about football is some guys will get 4 games.
Yeah.
Some guys will get 2 games.
Is it like on the 2-game
what
list?
what is the scale of PED that forces you to the 4-game threshold versus the 2-game threshold?
I find it kind of sad too because before the year, the Lions came out and said he's done so much growing since his gambling suspension.
Here's the deal. There are guys who take PEDs that are trying to cheat, get bigger, stronger, whatever.
There are others who end up with PEDs and don't know it.
There
Is
are
that-
other dudes who
is that true?
aren't responsible about what they're taking.
Okay.
May not understand what can pop you. This sounds like one of those cases, which is why he probably is like, yeah, I took it, but I didn't know, whatever.
That's what he said.
So,
Said, I don't take any supplements and I'm overly cautious.
well,
Evidently not.
not that
Evidently not.
And so
Yes.
ultimately, I think that's the point. At the end of the day, like
Right.
our minds are going to be made up regardless once we hear you connect it with PED.
Yeah. The kneecap cannibal said, quote, I trust this kid. I trust him, but unfortunately, you've got to pay for your sins.
You do.
All right, let's go to the Daily Gambit, which, as Tony said, includes one of the biggest upsets of the college football season for sure.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is a mortal lock.
Washington! Woohoo!
If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in the Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly first. We will start with the major upset out of all of our bets. Liberty was 27-point favorites over Kennesaw State. We all chose Liberty to cover. Kennesaw State ended up winning 27-24 for their first win of the season.
And Liberty's first loss.
I mean,
it was like everything was stacked against the mighty Owls of Kennesaw State.
Man, the Flames did not defeat the Owls. Little upset about that, but we all lost that
Nice
one.
job by Kennesaw State.
Yeah. Middle Tennessee and Jacksonville State over under 63.5 total points in the game. Chris and I said under. Tony said over. Tony's got to be a little bit irked by this. Jacksonville State wins 42-20, so it's 62 points.
As usual, the number is right there, though.
Now the
They
Bulls
don't miss it by much.
at the Pels. Chris chose the Bulls. The Pels were minus 5.5 on the spread. Tony and I chose the Pelicans. Pelicans won 123-111.
But you guys wanted to switch because Zion didn't play.
I never said that.
Yeah, I never made the switch, though, so we're
I
good.
guess you're right.
How many?
My guy, Zach LaVine, 7 turnovers. Come on.
First game. Let's get
Control the ball.
First
Will
game,
you
Chris.
please?
Give him a break, Chris. It's first game.
I'm not giving breaks.
He has paid way
7
too much money for
turnovers.
7 turnovers, Tony. Come
Please.
on. Bulls didn't lose by that much, though. 12? That's not so bad.
Nah, they lost by more than that. Final score was 12.
Lots of free throws at the end.
Whatever, yeah.
Phoenix minus 5 over the Clippers in the opening of the Intuit Dome up in Inglewood. Chris and Tony
I'm
chose
afraid
Phoenix.
for Steve Ballmer. Like, I'm
Why?
watching this dude. I just feel like he can have a heart attack at any given moment. The way he is just.
I'm going to play a video in the Big Five of Steve Ballmer kind of opening up the Intuit Dome, and that will prove your point, Tony.
I think I saw the same
Yes.
video, which is why I feel
He's like a
this right now.
WWE wrestler doing it's crazy.
Doing all these crazy moves.
It's crazy. Phoenix, or I chose the Clippers. Phoenix actually ended up winning this game 116-113 in OT, so I win that bet.
Tell you what, that wall,
The vertical wall.
it looks real.
And
Saw-
KD
I
said
saw
so.
KD miss 2 free throws.
And he said he was bothered by it. He said
So-
he was staring into it and he couldn't believe what he was seeing.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I gotta
that's kinda
see this
cool,
thing.
man.
Well, it's just the way the
it's just they
seats are.
built
They're,
it, yeah.
it's at a high angle, straight up and down instead of back into the.
So it looks like a wall.
So it looks a little more like a wall, and all 13 aisles of it or rows of it are filled with rabid Clipper fans.
Yeah, you can't sit there unless
Right, you have to qualify to be an idiot Clipper fan to sit there.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the show.
Yeah, I like
that kind of the
Oh,
look.
yeah.
It's
I
just
like it.
it's
Yeah,
just
that's
more
the
straight
idea.
up and down.
Yeah,
Surprised
so.
they didn't have that actor that the Chargers brought in to
Here
be a
you
part
go.
of it.
I still see her with the Charger uniform on, by the way.
Yeah, they keep bringing her out, and somehow the cameras keep finding her. So weird. I've been to
Such a conspiracy.
I've maybe been to 50 NFL games in my life. I've been lucky enough to do that. Not once has the camera ever found me.
Nobody wants to put you on camera.
I have a
found-
TV-ready face.
I have a feeling the camera has found you
That's why
before,
you're doing
and the
radio?
director immediately see ready 3. Let's go to camera 4. Camera 3, find something else.
All right, Tyrese Maxey over under 29.5 points last night. All of us went over. He had 25. Steph Curry over under 4.5 3-pointers. I think the Warriors scored over 130 points. You would think Steph Curry would have
Did he come up short?
7 threes or something like that. He had 3. So Chris
He only
was the
scored
worst
one
guy.
I must have saw him hit all 3
And-
then.
Yeah, he scored 17
That's
points.
it.
Kind of a
Out
low
of a
night
big
for
old
him.
game.
They did play Portland, so I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he
kind
didn't
of a
need
cakewalk.
it. He didn't need it.
Although Draymond's in full force already, I see.
Already got a technical. Chase the referee. Hey, you know what I would say if I was the referee there? Because you know what Draymond's saying. What'd I do? How am I getting a tee? If I was the referee, if you don't know by now,
This is
you're
why
never
you're getting
gonna
a
know.
tee, right?
I mean, the man who's got more tees than anybody in NBA history.
Final one, Capitals and the Flyers. I chose the Caps. You guys chose the Flies.
Flies, yeah.
Caps.
Caps 163.
Ovechkin scored a goal.
He got one.
So he's now 40 from breaking Gretzky. All right, let's go into tonight. By the way, Scraby's pulling away. He's 11-9.
I'm sucking.
Both of us are not good. 8-12. Tony, 5-15.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't.
That's
Tony can't afford rent this month,
No.
or electricity, or anything.
I'm donating money.
Oh, man,
apparently.
he's driving to work, not taking the helicopter this month.
All right, let's see if we can get back into it. Start with the Vikings, -3 tonight at the Rams. Scraby's first with the lead. Vikes -3. Kevin O'Connell.
I feel like
Coaching?
Sam Darnold has come back to earth a little bit,
Okay,
but Aaron Jones is back. I feel like the Vikings are going to win this game by more than 3.
that was a great analysis.
Great.
It was, right?
I got to take Kevin O'Connell over Sean McVay any day of any week. Even if I don't believe it, I'm going to root for it. Vikings. Tony?
I'm looking for wins. I'm going Rams.
You're going to go the other way to try and make up some ground. 47.5 points over under tonight. 24-23 is 47. I'm going to go under. Tight game, like 24-10 maybe. Under. Tony. 47.5 points. Under. Scraby. Contrarian.
I'm gonna go over because the Rams defense is not very good.
Okay. Aaron Jones or your guy, Kyrie Williams or
Kyren
Williams.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. He scores touchdowns like
He
every
does.
game.
He does.
But this is for rushing yards. Who's going to have more, Aaron Jones or Kyren Williams? I'll go with Aaron Jones because I think the Vikings will be ahead and they'll run the ball a little bit more. Tony?
Aaron Jones or what was it?
Kyren Williams,
Oh,
the Rams running back.
Give me Kyren.
You're going with Kyren?
Yeah.
All right. Scraby?
Chris is right. Kyren Williams does score a ton of touchdowns, but he doesn't usually have the rushing yards. I'm gonna go with Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. All right, here's one that I kind of put together. I added these two together. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, both returning to action tonight. Total yardage for both guys combined over under 97.
97.
For Kupp plus Nacua, you get both of them.
Okay.
97 yards. Scraby, over or under?
If they're trying to shop Cooper Kupp, so I'm gonna say they force it to him over.
Over. I don't know. 97 seems like not enough. I'll say over. Tony, want to try to make up ground again?
Yes.
Under, he says.
Yes.
Okay. We have one of the nation's 9 unbeaten college football teams playing tonight. That team is the Pitt Panthers.
Oh.
They are 6-0. They're at home, giving 5.5 points to the 5-1 Syracuse Orange. I'll take the Orange in this game because Scraby and I drove to Syracuse a few years ago. Tony?
Why is that?
I have no idea. Syracuse's only loss was to Stanford, which was an upset.
Syracuse is who they got again?
But they're 5-1. Pitt is 6-0.
Ooh.
One of the 9 unbeatens left in college football.
Give me Pitt.
Pitt. Scraby? Please get on mic. There you go.
Thank you. You know, Syracuse is not as bad as you think they are. I'm going to take Syracuse.
Who thinks they are?
Just people who
People
look
in
at
general?
Syracuse and just like, oh, who cares about
NBA
them?
tonight, Denver at home, -2.
Who did you choose?
I took Syracuse.
Okay,
I
just
said
making
because we
sure.
drove there.
Okay.
Denver -2 at home against OKC. NBA action. I've seen OKC picked by almost everybody to win the West this year. Tony, have you seen the same thing?
I have. They're picked
It
first or
surprises
second.
me. I know they had the best record last year, but it was very, very close between them and Denver and Minnesota. Has OKC gotten that much better by acquiring Caruso from the Bulls? That's the only real addition, I think, to their team. Anyway, you're up first, Tony. Denver's favored by 2
Yeah,
at home.
they didn't need much.
Okay.
I think I'm going to take Denver.
Denver,
The
though.
Russell Westbrook factor tonight.
Oh, my God. You do love him.
I sure do.
Scraby?
Are Jokic's brothers going to be there? Might intimidate people.
Scraby, you are hilarious, I must say. Here, Scraby. Make your pick.
Fine. I'm going to go Denver.
Denver also. All right, I'll take OKC because I need to pick up ground also. Luka Doncic for Dallas tonight. Points plus rebounds plus assists, 48.5. That's like 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
But he does a lot.
Yeah,
He does. Scraby, you're first.
I'm
Over,
going to
under.
say he comes out guns blazing.
Over.
Over.
All right, I think it's too much. Under. Tony? 48.5
Under.
total. Under.
First game.
One more just for you, Scraby. I don't normally do this many, but tonight in Los Angeles at the Crypto.com Arena,
Okay.
the Los Angeles Kings host your San Jose Sharkies.
Ooh.
Kings are favored by 1.5. The Sharkies are winless so
Yes,
far
they
this
are.
year.
I mean, the Sharkies are having some tough times.
We're going through some tough times,
I am going to go with my Sharkies.
but you're going to take them anyway.
Yeah.
Kings got beat 6-1 the other night. They take it out on the Sharkies tonight. I'll take the Kings. Tony,
King me.
King you? Okay, that's all. Take a break because we're running late. Traffic.
Okay. Hold on. I think Chris is joking. I'm just trying to
From
get...
the 97.3 The Fan.
stuff now. So
Yeah, all
guys are like-
of a sudden now you care how the show sounds?
I care how the
where
show
was that
sounds
the last
since day
7 years?
You know what? It's like they're like, well, it's okay. We'll just play it off of our phone into the microphone. No, we are a professional radio station in a top 50 market.
That remains to be, argued with us
I
sometimes.
cannot do that.
has it come to you yet?
No, did you send it to the right email?
It's only one match.
The whole point is if we played it off the phone, it would have worked timing-wise. This way, it looks like, as usual, we don't know what the hell we're doing.
No, that's not true. We do know what we're doing because I put a kibosh on playing it through the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it went to you. Definitely went to you.
All right.
That's gravy.
Well,
check
we're never,
spam.
it's great that we've all heard it here, but the listening audience will have to wait.
Well, if Tony would find clips not on Instagram,
I
Well,
mean, that's
you
the
gotta
best.
find
You
them
gotta
where you
find it where you
find
find
them.
them. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I'm
know,
saying?
I'm just taking it out on you at this point.
I'm just trying to help the show. Move along, whatever. 3:24 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Cello.
What, you want to paraphrase what we were going to hear? Or?
No,
I kind of don't. I
Oh,
think
you
it's.
don't-
I
you wanna
think it's.
ruin it,
I
yeah.
think it's best played through the voices of Sir Charles and Sir Shaq.
Oh, I got to hear this. Come
Yeah.
on, Scrape,
We're
Sir
waiting on
Charles,
Scrape.
Shaq.
Scrape's not looking forward to having
those
it at
guys.
this
No,
point.
Tony's
Let him play it off the phone, will ya?
Tony's iPhone is taking forever to send it.
He said that he's already sent it.
I did.
I'm
His
waiting for
phone
it.
is already, well,
It actually went out at 3:21. So
3
you know,
minutes ago.
3 months ago.
3 months ago.
Come on.
Speaking of
Chris says, "Come on."
Speaking of this sound, they're talking about Kawhi Leonard. Some kind of top story on ESPN right now is about an ex-Clippers staffer fired for questioning the Kawhi Leonard kind of protocol and handling of his injuries.
He was an old San Diego State
Yes,
trainer,
Randy Shelton.
Randy Shelton, and he works with the Clippers.
He had been working with the
So
Clippers.
then he got fired because he didn't like
how they were handling the injury situation.
but
for-
he wasn't allowed to be in charge of how they were handling the injury, evidently, and he was the trainer.
in the article, he basically accuses the Clippers of using him to recruit Kawhi Leonard a year before he signed.
Because he was a
He was on the San Diego
with
State
Kawhi.
at the time. That's right.
Oh
And so
my goodness! So
once they got Kawhi, they hired him and then didn't
Didn't
do
use
any of-
him.
Didn't use any of the things that they promised him
Got
for.
it.
He
Got
stayed along anyway, and when it sounded like he started to push back on some of how they were handling his injuries,
Mm-hmm.
they let him go.
boy, used and tossed into the trash, says
Indeed.
Randy Shelton.
Indeed. All right, we have that sound, and I bring it up because every year we always play some clips from Shaq and Charles. They're at it already, second time during the season. Here's the clip.
Kawhi Leonard, but you can't rank him if he's not playing.
Is he a great player now?
He was,
Thank you. No.
but he ain't played.
Played 68 games last year.
And the best ability is availability.
Spell it.
You see, I almost made me curse you out there, man.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Always catching Charles slipping right there.
Love
You can't
those
spell
guys.
availability. I mean, it's not an easy word, but
It's on the spot, live TV.
oh, I could do it.
You probably sound worse if you try and fumble that at all than not trying.
That's not
at
even
all.
easy to spell on the radio.
AVAILIBILITY.
Well,
I think you did too many ILs, honestly. I think you did availability. I really do. I think you did availability.
I will have to check the tape.
You invented a new word.
Nonetheless, that's something, that story that we were talking about before we play the sound, is probably going to start to bubble. It just broke probably a couple hours ago, so I'm sure by tomorrow it'll be bigger news than.
I mean,
it is
Kawhi
right now.
Leonard is as Shaq and Charles are, he is the subject of so many arguments.
Yeah.
Everybody comes down on one side or the other of it. I'm probably always going to come down on his side because he's an Aztec, and I got to believe that he wants to play and just is not healthy enough to do so. But, everybody's got an opinion, right, on how somebody should be treated when they have an injury like this. And I think a player like Kawhi Leonard makes the kind of money he does, has the kind of, cachet he does, has his own training staff, right, separate from what the Clippers have.
Yeah,
I would think.
Do you remember that?
And those people don't always agree, if ever agree.
Well, listen, you got, and this is the part that I don't think people really get much insight into, right? There's two different timelines there, right? A team is paying; they want, you out on the court regardless of what the injury is after a certain period. And that sounds like what it was here when Shelton pushed back on the fact that they were basically rushing him back too soon or not handling the rehab portion of it correctly. It was stated from the president of baseball operations. His name is skipping.
Lawrence Frank.
Lawrence Frank.
Yes.
Basically told him, we take your we take this very seriously. An investigation will be opened, and apparently Shelton's claims were unsubstantiated, and then he was let go right after that investigation took place. So we'll see how this kind of unfolds. I have a feeling it might get a little messy.
And I don't. I think the Clippers will pay him money, so we don't have to hear anything.
Well, that's
another way those things get settled.
Great point.
Yeah.
All right, let's slide away. Let's get to break. On the other side, we have ourselves a Big Five. Scraby's ready to roll. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Ben and Woods on the
Mediterranean food. I think I just said this a little while ago, but we invite you again. Try Spiro's. Authentic Mediterranean cuisine. It's in Coronado or La Jolla for dining or takeout options. SpirosCuisine.com. Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby. Still ahead, Chris versus the fans. Gwynn and Chris, NFL Pick'em. Right now, though, after we check some traffic, it'll be the Grande Cinco.
That
in honor of Fernando.
That might have to be permanent.
That might have to be permanent.
Grande Cinco.
The Grande Cinco. Let's go.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change, your trusted instant drive-thru oil change. Headaches already this afternoon, guys. Some road work has got the right lane blocked in the North 5 coastline between Encinitas and Leucadia, so you're seeing a huge backup from the merge on that. Northbound 15 before Villa Rancho, crash over to the right shoulder. Also traveling on South 805 Murray Ridge, accident involving a motorcycle. It's in the center divide. Traveling on the South 163 before the 8th, got a collision over to the right shoulder. Also an accident blocking the fast lane on West 8th near Rosecrans, and southbound 125 at Grossmont College, collision over the right shoulder. Stop by 80 to 30 San Diego Valvoline Instant Oil Change Centers. You don't have to get out of your car. Usually only takes 15 minutes or less, plus get a free courtesy check of your tires and battery. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for directions and discounts. SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fact.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, let's get started because we have a lot to get
Number 5.
And on the Scravy Show last night, I talked about the catching position for the Padres in 2025, and there are lots of tentacles for how this could go because Kyle Higashioka currently not under contract with any team, but not the Padres either, obviously. Without Higgy on the roster, they really only have Luis Campusano as their big league catcher. And last night I said I don't think you can go into 2025 with Campusano as your lone starting catcher. So, Tony, do you think the Padres are looking for a starting catcher, a backup catcher, or both?
I think they're looking for a catcher.
Not a starting or a backup?
No. I don't know any season they've gone into recently where they've said, this guy is going to be our everyday catcher. I don't think they necessarily view the position like that. I think it worked out that Kyle got the boatload of the reps because of, injury and then production. He ended up being a more productive guy, but I don't think they have closed the door on Campy. I think they'll bring a catcher in and they'll probably run it the same way they did last year. Who's the hot man, and kind of let the season dictate, playing time.
Yeah, Chris.
His name is Chris.
Yeah, your name's Chris. Chris. Do you think the Padres are looking for a starter catcher back again?
Well, I think Tony's right. 100% is what they'll do. But I'll make a prediction that Campusano starts and makes the All-Star team.
Oh, wow.
Like it.
I don't know. I just think Campusano's good, and I just think he got into a bad way this year, and it never happened. It came out for him, and I just hope that he'll get into a groove next year and, won't slow down. I think he's got the ability. He was hitting about 320 in mid-May, and I know that's not a long sample size, but it shows he's capable of doing it.
They don't need him to hit 320.
Exactly.
And so I think he's capable of what they're asking him to do. So I agree with Chris as well.
All right. Wow, All-Star game. That is a bold prediction, sir.
A little bit.
I don't know if it's that bold. You know who predicted it last year?
Who?
Jesse. I think he had that prediction too.
Campy?
Yeah. So it's not like an absurd thought. You know what I'm saying?
I would say it's not an absurd thought, but I would say it's a crazier
That's
thought
just because you
of last year.
Exactly. You have last year in your mind.
All right.
Number 4.
MLB.com put out the power rankings for hitters in the World Series, and the top 3 went like this. Do you guys want to guess the top 3?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Ohtani.
In order to.
Oh, I got to do it in order?
Yeah.
Ohtani, Judge, Soto.
Chris?
Let's see. John Birdie be third.
Harrison Bader is second.
No, he's not that good. He's not that good.
All right, I'll just tell you.
It's got to be the three Tony said, isn't it?
It is, but it's in a different order. They ranked Juan Soto number 1, Shohei number 2, and Aaron Judge number 3.
Well,
Chris,
yeah, whatever. Some analytic.
Do you agree with
nerd.
that top 3, Chris?
Of course not. Somebody who loves walks agreed with that.
Oh, man, from Last Dance, the security guard.
Yeah, I know. Juan Soto's probably like the odds-on guaranteed to be MVP of this World Series, and we're just going to have to
best
suck
hitter,
it up
right?
the entire time.
That was the category best hitter.
Yes.
Power
rankings.
Yeah. Okay.
Power rankings for hitters.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Anything to add, guys?
No, move on.
Oh my God.
Soto,
I get angry.
Yeah, so I think Soto's the best pure hitter out of the 3.
All right.
Then they had Shohei second, or they had Aaron second?
They had Shohei second.
Shohei second. All right.
Yes. All right. Deion Sanders is not happy about one thing for his team, and it's all about the college football start times. Here he is after the last game talking to the media, and the reporter's going to ask the question.
Hey, Coach. John Treach, 9 News.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about these last TV window national games where basically the entire sport watches all day and then Colorado plays, and it's a showcase, but it's also very late?
Yeah, we don't like it, but we do love it. You don't like it because of the time, but you love it because we're chosen to be on television once again. I think that's 8 consecutive weeks that we're proud that we're chosen. That once upon a time that you was begging to be on television, so we're not gonna turn to our nose up at being on national television. Yeah, we could argue with the time, but we're still appreciative and thankful. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I mean, you got to change the schedule. You got to prepare the kids because we practice in the morning. So now we got to do body adjustments, time adjustments, sleep adjustments for our young men so that they could start off fairly quickly. We hadn't started off quick in the night games because of that flips our whole schedule. We fared better in day games because that's who we are. But we plan on making adjustments this week to make sure we get the proper sleep, the proper rest, and we're ready and prepared for kickoff, regardless of whatever time it is.
There we go. Regardless of whatever time it is, he says. Do you guys, my question for you, Tony, do you think he has a legit gripe about scheduling?
Didn't sound like he was really griping too much.
He said it was, yeah, he was. I mean, he was saying he didn't like playing late, but he's happy that they're on TV because they have to do all the adjustments. And
I guess, okay, so the gripe, I guess, yeah, I mean, he has a gripe. I mean, if we're calling it that.
The game starts at 8:15 Colorado time, Saturday night. But it's because it's a national game on ESPN. Right. So he seems like he's willing to make the trade.
I think he is.
The Aztecs, mind you, get the opposite of this. Because they're playing, obviously, Saturday night at 7:30 here this week against Washington State. Get tickets at goaztecs.com. But when they go to the East Coast,
they get the early
many
joint.
times they play a 12:30 game. I remember we did one of those at Michigan and at Army.
I think you did one at
and I think at Ohio State
too. Yeah,
that's 9:30 a.m. body clock for these players. So they have to. That's a tougher adjustment, I think, than what Deion's talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, TV runs the thing, and everybody knows. Deion makes the money he makes because of TV. He's smart enough to know that.
That's right. I think that's why he said it. He answered
right.
that question the way, and clearly by the way the reporter asked the question, he knew that there was going to be some type of sticking point with it. That's why he asked the question.
That reporter better be counting his P's and Q's that he doesn't get kicked out of those things.
No, I think Deion liked them.
Yeah, I think ultimately this is a trade that Colorado, and really, quite frankly, whatever team gets an opportunity would take the trade for sure.
It is really late. I mean, my bedtime is like 9:30 most
you
nights.
Are about
10
to be
p.m. maybe
in the 4-0 range. Here, so,
that's depressing.
Welcome to the club.
Number 2.
We've talked about this before, but Cowboy players are starting to become more vocal about how annoying the daily tours are of Cowboy Stadium. In fact, some players who left the Cowboys last year have said they didn't realize how much of a distraction the tours are and how much they feel like they're now heading into work and not walking into a zoo. Literally, people
It is like a zoo.
people are tapping on the gym windows as they're doing their weight training, and they want the players to do something for their cameras. Why does I thought I was asking you two questions. Why does Jerry Jones keep doing this, you may ask? The tours sold 50,000 tickets and generated $10 million last year for the Cowboys. It's not even that much money to Jerry Jones, but he has to have it, apparently. Chris, do you think they need to get rid of these tours during football season?
Can't they just get rid of them while the Cowboys are practicing? Those guys aren't there 24 hours a day.
I think that's part of the draw of the tour.
Yeah.
Because
they have these tours at Petco Park, and I know that sometimes the players happen to be there.
But aren't they on the
I think
field?
that people get a better tour when the players aren't there.
For
Then
sure.
they get to see
go
way
to the
more
locker
stuff.
room.
Yeah,
for sure.
But they have tours at Petco Park all the time. Sometimes the players are there. But this does sound, I honestly agree with the players on this one. They should get first billing. That's your team should be ahead of all else. So, they should wipe these out at least while the players are there.
First of all, the stadium is so ridiculously nice and big that they can show a whole bunch of things and it's still going to be a good tour. There's nothing worse as a athlete, like in a working environment, than feeling like you're a zoo animal.
In a cage. Yeah.
I mean, people knocking on the glass.
Yeah.
Just think about how often you've done that with at the San Diego Zoo when there's like a
snake. You want them to come over to the
Please
window.
don't do that, people.
knocking on the
That's
glass.
very mean to the
There is
animals.
nothing more.
Well, but you don't mind them knocking on the cowboy
No,
window.
because those people are humans. They can
Yeah,
deal
but
with
that's
it.
even worse. That's
An
what I'm
animal
saying.
doesn't know.
Oh, okay. So the animal should be treated better than the
Scraby's
human.
sticking up for the snake.
Not
I'm just saying.
false.
It's infuriating. You throwing up some weight, maybe getting some squats in, and somebody comes knocking on the window like, "Hey,
can you pose for me? Like,
do this."
I guess Dak Prescott was walking back to the locker room, and the tours were like right there, and they were asking for autographs and stuff. And he's like, "Man, I'm just at work."
I'm not gonna lie, and I'll share this with you guys. There's been a couple times where I've gotten work and like either been late to tape or
But the
like
tour's
just,
going
just
on?
not like in the right frame of mind to like stop. Like I'm not ready to be on yet.
Right.
I have definitely hid behind a pillar or two a couple times
While the tours are going on.
Let it go by first. And
Next
then,
time you do a Petco tour, look behind the pillars.
I would do the same thing.
I have definitely done that once or twice.
You know, down here, I don't like riding I know I'm weird. I don't like riding the elevator with people, and so
here,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
When I get into the lobby, if there's someone waiting for an elevator, I'll go and use the hand sanitizer and until they get on the elevator, and then I get on the elevator
Get on there by yourself?
Yes, because it's very awkward to be in an elevator with someone that you don't know. Because you have
Is it though?
Because the other day
You
it happened
literally
to me.
just have to be
It's
quiet.
not awkward because 99% of us get on elevators with
I
people
know.
we don't know.
This is a
you
me
can't
problem.
control it. When you're going down from the 6th floor, what do you do if somebody gets on at the 4th?
I hit the emergency button and keep going. No, I can't do anything about it, but it's not like my favorite thing in the world. When I stop at another floor, I'm like, oh.
I can totally see.
Well, I will say this. He does walk up the stairs a lot.
Yeah.
Which is a waste of time and energy, but I see now why he does it now.
Apparently, Ben Higgins also avoids elevator socialization, Dominic is saying.
So does he just turn in the corner and just...
I don't know. Tell me what Ben does, guys.
I can see Ben doing
I
that
can
too.
see Ben doing it too. The other day, or last week, someone did that thing where hold the elevator type of thing, and they were like scurrying along.
Have you ever?
Oh, I've definitely not touched the button.
Heard the hold the elevator and like pretended to like.
You just pushed the wrong button. I'm looking for it. I can't.
I'm sorry. I have my headphones in. I can't hear anything. I'm sorry.
The push the wrong button one is diabolical.
And then their arm gets stuck in it and it goes up.
You're really pushing closed door instead of open door.
I definitely push closed door. That doesn't work though.
Oh,
Those are placebo buttons. I'm pretty sure.
Only on most elevators. There's like 2 elevators that come to mind immediately that actually work that way.
But
none of them are here in San Diego.
That person was like walked on the elevator, and they go, I think they said I'm going to 2. I'm like,
take the stairs.
Okay. Like, do you want me to hit the
Yes,
button
you
for
push
you?
the button. That's what that means.
Why doesn't that person hit the button?
Because you probably were like right there in front of
now
the buttons.
I know it's not that big of a deal.
And
to
you
hit
know
a
how
button.
weird you get about people getting close. So that means they would have had to get closer to you to actually touch the button.
You make a good point.
I'm just
you make a good point. I should hit the button so that they don't come near me.
There you go.
If you're in New York City and you get on an elevator and then you push number 7 once, and then some other lady gets on and she's going to 12, but she looks like she's huffing and puffing a little, and they give it the old 12, press it 30 times. Doesn't get you there any faster.
No, it doesn't.
I was sure that, speaking of elevator doors, in Korea, when you get on the elevator, they had these like sticker signs that basically indicated that these elevator doors may not have the sensors that ours do. So they had like pictures of hands getting like chopped off. Yeah.
Wow.
So I know when I got on the elevator in Korea, I made sure I was like on
All
and
the
tucked
way
away.
on?
Yeah, because
Interesting.
apparently these the signs indicated the elevators are a little more dangerous than ours.
That sounds dangerous. That really sounds dangerous. They were saying on the chat that Ben faked going to the bathroom. That's like 3 times a week for me. I walk out of here, I see someone going to the men's bathroom, I turn right around and come back into the studio.
Scraby doesn't like awkward bathroom encounters.
No. I'm surprised you sit in the same studio as us during the show.
We're pretty spread apart. We're pretty spread
You guys
apart.
should see me last break. I went over to show Scraby something.
It was
and
ridiculous.
He was scooting away from me.
I mean, I don't know why he has to stand so close. I'm right
wasn't
here.
that
I really wasn't that
He
close.
was.
Number 1.
The Clippers' new home, the Intuit Dome, opened up last night, and Clippers owner Steve Ballmer was very, very fired up about this. Here he is. If you guys go to your video screens on YouTube, you'll be able to hear it as well. But here's Steve Ballmer getting the crowd ready for the first game.
Yeah.
He's like doing some weird hand things, putting his hands in the air. Then he grabs the mic. And there you go. Everybody
I'm
seems
scared
to
for him, man.
enjoy it, but he is a ball of energy, I have to say. But we are going to talk about this part because I've been critical of owners for making it about them, but to me this kind of seems genuine, like he actually enjoys being the owner of the Clippers. Tony, what makes Steve Ballmer more likable than Mets owner Steve Cohen?
I think they just have different personalities. Steve Ballmer seems like, as you said, a ball of energy.
Yeah.
I feel like he's always yelling. I don't know that he has a different mode.
Tone?
Yeah, like every time I see him, he's on 10.
Yeah, that's
Steve
true.
Cohen is just, he's just it's a different type of rich attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like he is assuredly smarter than most people that he talks to. You kind of get that impression. But he also is kind of unassuming, though. At least how I view Steve Cohen. I saw him during the playoffs. He's got the hat on. He's got the glasses. He's very unassuming. I don't know that he's unlikable, though. I don't see.
I think I may have put my spin on it.
Yeah, clearly. I think both of them are likable, just in different ways. I think most people would probably if you're picking off of personalities, you probably would want to work for Steve Ballmer versus Steve Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
But they're both filthy rich.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, there's that.
Chris, do you think what makes Steve Ballmer more likable than
Yeah,
Steve
I don't think
Cohen?
he is more likable. Number one, what does everybody dislike about Steve Cohen? That he wants to win? I mean, is that a bad thing? I want my owner to want me to win. Steve Ballmer's the same. The problem for Steve Ballmer is, as much as he gets into it and excited, it's still the Clippers. And it's just always going to be the Clippers. I know he's trying to.
He got them their own house.
He's trying everything he can do in his power, but it still says CLIPPRS on there. And until they win a championship or even get to one, I think they're always going to be a bit of a laugh fest.
But what about all the toilets?
You can change your logo to a boat. You can change your logo to whatever you want.
Yeah.
What about all
Still
the toilets, though? Isn't that cool? He has like the most toilets in the stadium, and they all flush at the same time.
I love
I don't think they
I love
all
what he's
flush
doing.
at
It's
the
still a
same
Clipper
time.
game.
You can just flush them at the if by chance everybody happened to flush them at the same time.
It can happen. There's enough water pressure.
Right,
for
he's
it.
got enough water pressure.
That's the owner that cares about his fans.
There's no question, but it still says what it says.
Chris versus the fans next. 833-288-0973.
Welcome back. It's Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scraby. I believe it's my turn. Yep, it is. Chris versus the fans headed your way.
Before we get to it, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Unless you have something.
No, I have nothing.
You know how once in a while on this show we try to talk about everybody taking a minute to appreciate everything they have out there?
Yes.
Taking a minute to appreciate just how lucky you are, even though you're having a rough day, a bad day, something terrible has happened around you.
Indeed.
You're still lucky.
Me
Because this just
personally?
came, no, anybody out
okay.
there that I'm talking to everybody out there, think about, just don't forget it because this story just came in a few minutes ago. 43-year-old South Florida head men's basketball coach Amir Abdur-Rahim has died following complications that arose during a medical procedure. That's it. 14 days before the start of the season. Coach Abdur-Rahim went in for some medical procedure, obviously, complications. He has passed away, only 43 years old. These things can happen, can be taken from you. I mean, it's so sad. I don't know this coach. I don't know South Florida too well. He was the AAC Coach of the Year last year. Obviously had a great season.
Wow.
Getting ready to bring his team
Where'd you
in.
see this? Where'd this break at?
It's on...
It just hit my phone,
Yeah, it hit Scraby's phone. It's on sportsillustrated.com right now. But, I don't know him or the program, but to read something like this is just heartbreaking.
That's sad.
And, just remind it, thank your lucky stars out there. Because I know everybody listening to the show isn't having a great day today. Maybe you're having a rough day, a tough time. And, just consider yourself lucky because, Amir Abdur-Rahim, it's happened to him. And our best thoughts, prayers to that school and everybody surrounding it.
You know what I thought a lot about, and I talked on the Scraby Show about, is that like when people pass away now, I really, really pay attention to their ages. And Fernando Valenzuela was 63, and it like hit me because my parents are the same age, and it's just like that. Put it in perspective as to how young 63 really is and how much life he had ahead for him.
And how fragile it all can be.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're right.
So,
one of 13 siblings.
Wow.
He was.
Mr. Rahim,
Mr.
Abdur-Rahim.
Played, he was an all-star with the Atlanta Hawks.
He played in the NBA then.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading on Sports Illustrated. Wow, that's a
tough one.
That's a tough one.
That really is. I mean,
one of 13 siblings came from a basketball family. Oh, excuse me. His older brother is Sharif.
That's
Abdur-Rahim.
where I recognize the name. He was an NBA player.
Yeah, he was an NBA player. He's now the NBA president of the G League. His brother is. So that's a tough loss for
that's heartbreaking.
Basketball community for sure.
I mean, in just the way this happened, I don't know any details yet beyond the fact he goes in for a procedure and he doesn't come out.
Yeah,
that's just not right. So, all right, sorry to put a downer on thing. I didn't mean to, but I hope I'm passing it along. A, as informative. B, as just a reminder to all of us.
Let's jump into some Chris versus the fans.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Last thing on Coach Abdur-Rahim, little X post on X or Twitter. USF head coach Amir Abdur-Rahim promised the school a conference championship, and he did it in his first season.
I need to get the audio because it's kind of haunting at this point, but it's also kind of cool at the same time.
What, the audio of him promising that?
Yes, here he is saying that.
Because when that day comes, and it's going to come, I asked MK, you afraid of heights? Because you're going to have to get up on that ladder one day to cut down those nets. Go Bulls.
Yeah.
Man. That was just last
conference
season.
Championships.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
That's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking. But I don't know where I go with this.
No, you can't say but just
no,
move on.
I'm just going to move on. All right. So the rules for Chris vs. the Fans, you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. Chris vs. the Fans is presented by SD Fat Loss. Lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days. Visit sdfatloss.com to schedule your free consultation. If you are a first-time player, let us know. You'll get the first question for free today.
And you will win, if you win today, a pair of tickets. Did you say this?
No.
Sold out Dia de los Deftones at Petco Park. It's on November the 2nd, featuring Deftones, Idols, Paris, Texas, and more. All of my favorite groups.
Right.
Is that what they are, I hope?
They are groups.
Okay, good.
Yes. Wait, name them again.
Deftones.
Okay.
Idols.
Okay.
Paris, Texas.
Love it.
Those are your groups.
It's good stuff.
It's
right
sold
there.
out, though.
It is sold out. I know that Dia de los Deftones is a big deal.
Evidently, somebody likes them a lot.
A lot of people.
Yeah, right.
So you have some way of phrasing things sometimes.
Give me the contestants' names, please.
Let's go to Brad.
Brad, welcome to the show. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, gentlemen. Hey, just want to follow through with what Chris just said. I went to 2 of the Padre-Dodger games, and I shook the hands of the Dodgers people and said, you know, guys, it's just a game. Let's have fun. We had the best time. I'm telling you, we rooted, high-fived, looked at each other, gave sound. But you know what? It's a freaking game.
Yeah.
Enjoy life.
It is, no doubt.
Good
By
message,
the
Brad.
way, he brings up a great point. I know oftentimes we focus in on the couple of losers out there throwing fists at each other. A large majority of people are doing exactly what was just talked about there, which is,
Right.
You're in competitive spirit, you're rooting for your team, but when it's all said and done, you guys shake hands, you move on, and you go.
Bad
on.
apples always spoil the bunch.
That's very true. All right, here we go.
Oh, Scrappy with a good one.
I have some cliches today.
Yes, you do. Let's get to the first question. Here we go.
Good statement, though, Brad.
Thank you,
Very
Brad.
good.
What historic feat happened in the Lakers game 2 nights ago?
It was a father-son playing together.
Yes,
bong.
indeed
job.
it was.
Yep.
On to question.
2 future All-Stars.
Oh,
I like the way
Tony
you're
likes the
talking
sound of
there.
that.
All right,
Here we
Brad,
go.
you quit while you're ahead. You said something really good, and then you followed up with something not all that bright.
Here we go, Brad. Question number 2. Wow, here we go. That's a good one. Aaron Boone played for 6 teams in his major league career. Name 3 of
Just
the
3.
6.
Just 3, huh?
Just 3. Let's see. He played Braves,
Okay.
Reds,
Okay.
and Red Sox.
All right.
Braves, Reds, what do you say?
Braves,
Sox.
Reds, Red Sox.
Stay there, Brad.
I can only name the Reds and the Yankees. I know he played for the Yankees because he hit the home run, and I remember him starting at the Reds. After that, I would just be flipping a coin.
So flip it.
Flip it to the Orioles.
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 Oh,
Wow, Brad's
Right,
still
Brad's
alive.
You
still
guys
alive.
both got the Reds. You
Alright.
got the Yankee.
yeah.
I just picked one of the last 4, the Nationals.
Played
Yeah.
for the Nationals?
Yes.
Man, I
Well, he
missed-
also
I
played
missed
for the
that memo.
Astro. What?
So you don't need to get rest. We might be able to
Oh,
pick
okay.
the other 3
All right,
teams
I'll
one of these
keep,
days.
okay. Well, I'll keep it there.
There's only 2 now because you gave that
I'll
one
keep
away.
it away. I'll keep it there. I'll keep it there.
All right, you're on to the
Aaron
next
Boone.
round, Brad. Here we go. Question number 3.
All righty.
Salas and DeVries won't turn 20 until 2026. In case you didn't know, those are the 2 young prospects for the Padres. Who is the only player to record a hit for the Padres before his 20th birthday?
The only one ever?
Ever.
As a
Ever.
Padre?
As a Padre.
AJ Castleville newsletter question right here.
Ooh.
This is number
I
2
hope he's
or
okay
3?
with me stealing his
Is
questions.
this number 2 or
Prior
3?
to,
3.
Okay, wait.
Oh, this is 3.
Okay, guys. He wasn't 20 yet.
Before his 20th birthday.
Before his 20th
So he was
birthday.
19.
Jackson Merrill, it would not have been him. Abram.
CJ. Mr.
CJ
Abrams.
Abrams. Stay there, Brad.
Elo for the steal.
My guess is, I think it's a good guess, but I don't know if it's right. Benito Santiago.
This is the second time this week. It's a good guess, obviously.
I don't know.
Wow.
We got ourselves a winner.
Brad,
Nice, Brad.
You got it.
there. I don't know that Chris would ever get this time.
Mike Ivy.
Oh, God, no, I'd never get that.
Recorded 8 hits as a 19-year-old September call-up in 1971.
I remember Mike Ivy was the number 1 overall pick, if I'm not mistaken, and he didn't really turn into all that much beyond that, those 8 hits. But, yeah, I would not have got that, Brad. Good job.
Nice work,
You win
Brad.
you get to go. Are you a fan of either Los Deftones or Los Idols or Las Paris, Texas? Does that all sound good, Brad?
It does, and I'm hoping Leonard Skinner comes on as a surprise band.
There you go. I don't blame you. I don't
Brad.
blame you.
Hang on the line, Brad, and Scraby will get
I
you
mean,
on
this
the
is
back
coming
end.
from a guy who goes to like Journey cover bands. So,
No, I went and saw Actual Journey.
what was the cover band that you went and saw?
Last year, a couple years, I saw Fleetwood Mac cover band. I've seen
Fleetwood Mac.
A couple others.
Oh, well, you're very.
I'm not cool when it comes to music. I don't
Okay.
claim to be.
All right, I withdraw my.
But I'm
comment.
not in the the age.
When's
of
the last time you seen Barry?
coolness.
Your guy.
Barry Manilow.
That's your guy, right
It's probably
there.
been like 25 years since I've seen
We
him.
need to get Chris to a Barry Manilow
But I have
show.
seen him 2 or 3 times. It's just been a long time since I've seen him.
Oh.
So, yeah, I don't mind admitting. I'm comfortable enough in my own skin
yeah.
to be able to say that.
For sure. All right, let's get to break.
Thank you.
On the other side, NFL, Gwynn and Chris's NFL pick'em continues. Was this week 8, 9?
And
Yes,
you're
8.
crushing me
Week
still.
8. Chris looks to cut the ground. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side. Here's some traffic.
From the 97.
All right, final segment of Gwynn and Chris for this day. I'll have a full 4-hour show tomorrow. Among our guests tomorrow, Aztec football head coach Sean Lewis, ahead of the Aztecs game Saturday night against Washington State.
Looking for 3 straight here.
Let's do it. 14.5-point underdog, Aztecs. Going into that one?
Ooh.
2 TDs. So, let's go, boys.
Let's go,
Let's
Aztecs.
go, boys.
Let's do this.
See if we can pull it off.
Can I play something real quick before
we get to our
Chris
picks?
Pick'em?
Yes.
I've been called the bearer of misinformation many times on this show.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a setup, dog.
But
yeah, this isn't sounding good for me.
But Chris is the bearer of misinforspelling. Here it is.
But it still says CLIPPRS on there. But it still says CLIPPRS on there.
I was alerted to this, and I love it when I get some ammunition. So thank you.
That was good. Clippers. The Clippers.
Forgot the R, I guess. Huh?
The E. The E.
The E. All right.
Still can't spell it.
No, I still can't spell it.
All right, that's it.
All right, very good, you people out there. Don't miss a thing. I appreciate that. All right, Tony Gwynn Jr. is having his way
Clippers.
in the Gwynn versus Chris NFL Pick'em. He has led throughout
Are
the
we going to have
season.
to call this at some point?
No, because he walked me down. couple
Yeah,
years
it's
ago.
early. It's early. I mean, we're not even halfway. That's 18 weeks this year.
I know. Yeah, that's
right.
true.
This is
Yeah,
week
yeah,
8,
yeah.
so we're not even halfway. But Tony does have a nice lead, 45-31. It's going to take one big upset pick for me to get it turned around. We'll
Can't let
see
you have
if
it.
this is the week.
It's time for Tony and Chris to face off. Playing for a season-long prize of pride.
I see pride. I see power.
The guys make their picks, and then they stress over their picks all weekend.
No! Please, no! No! No!
Gwynn and Chris NFL Pick'em starts now.
CLIPPERS.
Yay!
Clip
Did you ever check to see if you spelled availability right?
Oh, no, I should do that,
Maybe
though.
said
before the
availability.
Yeah, chat
When
ready
was
on that one,
When
chat.
was that? I think I spelled it right. That's why.
I don't remember.
Maybe.
All right, we go with
availability.
got the 3-point game, 2-point game, 1-point game. Last week, we each got all 3 of our games right, and neither of our upset picks. So 2 weeks in a row that's happened. We both have scored 6 points, so you've kept your 14-point lead. I go first this week, and there's a couple of interesting spreads this week, and I bring this up because I took a moment to look it up. You've got Detroit by 11 over Tennessee, and you've got Kansas City by 10 over Las Vegas. These are only the second and third double-digit spreads in the NFL all season.
Parody.
And that's something. The only other one was week 4. 49ers were favored by 10.5 over the Patriots. Every other game played this season has been a single-digit spread. Kind of interesting, I think. So I will take one of those double-digit spreads, and I feel more confident at home with the Lions over Tennessee. So I'll take Detroit.
Detroit.
For my 3-point pick. You're up, Tony. Any other remaining game this week?
Kansas City.
Yeah, by 10 over the Raiders. Oh, man, the Raiders are just sad right now.
Apparently,
What do they
DeAndre
have
Hopkins
left?
is going to play, so...
Who isn't?
DeAndre Hopkins is going to play.
For the Chiefs.
The
Yeah,
former
that's right.
99er.
By the way, DeAndre Hopkins not worth much. He only got a 4th-round pick in return.
5th round, possible 4th if he.
I heard
certain
an
things are-
explanation. I know
I
we
don't
got to get
get it.
moving, but I heard an explanation as to why 3rd-round picks are worth players like that. It's because anything like a 3rd-rounder to a 1st-rounder, they're expected to come in and help you right away. So
Fine.
you're getting a player that's going to be on the field right away.
Are you getting an All-Pro?
You don't know.
Of course not.
But
you're giving one up.
But you're getting a choice at a guy who's probably going to help you sooner rather than later.
No,
That was the explanation I
buy
got. I don't buy it.
My 2-point game this week, there's a couple of bigger spreads, but, well, no. I'm going to go Baltimore at Cleveland. Baltimore's ridiculous. Cleveland's going on
I see
Jameis Winston maybe with an upset.
I see what you're doing there, sir.
Why?
I see what you're doing.
No, I'm not doing that.
You're doing it.
I'm not. I'm not chasing the glory yet. It's too early.
It's too early?
Yeah.
All
Your
right.
2-point pick is? You going with him? Sean Payton?
Hell no.
Oh,
I
you're
cannot
not?
pick Sean Payton. Sorry.
Hate Sean
Give
Payton.
me
Hell
give me the Jets.
Jets at New England.
Who was your second pick? Baltimore, you
Baltimore was
How do you
my
guys feel
second
about
pick.
Devontae Adams holding a team meeting after like 3 days since he got to the team?
How about 30 minutes after he got to the
was
team?
it the same? It was after the game. You're right.
After a game in which he did nothing, by the way, to help them.
It's kind of bold of him.
It was a little bold. All right, I'm not taking Sean Payton either. I don't care if he's 9.5-point favorite. I'm going to take... I feel really good about... Are your Niners going to lose this one? Like, this is like the season.
I told my 49ers friend the other day...
This is it for them, and
that
they blow
if
this game.
They lose to the Cowboys, we definitely have a problem in San Francisco.
All right,
That's official.
I'm too scared. I'll take Pittsburgh over the
Oh,
Giants.
damn.
Giants are
I mean, but the Cowboys
really
are like
bad.
zoo animals. They're not prepared.
I'll take Pittsburgh as my 1-point pick.
You really
Tony,
wanted- that's messed up, Chris.
sorry, is that what you were going to
That's
take?
what I was going to take.
Oh, I got you on one.
Let's do the Chargers.
Chargers over the Saints. Okay. Interestingly, neither of us have faith in Denver 9.5 over Carolina.
No, we do not.
And I don't have faith to pick it as an upset either, because I've picked Carolina as my upset team 2 or 3 times this year, and they've lost by 30 points every time.
I mean, Bryce Young is the quarterback.
It's true. But I'm going to go, I think, for 3 points. I'm going to play it a conservative this week. Try to get a win with the homestanding Commanders. Because they're underdog 3 points to the Bears. I'm still not sold on the Bears. I know Tony is, but I think the Commanders
I'm not sold on the Bears. I'm sold on Mr. Williams.
Yeah, I know. And Daniels, we don't know if he's going to play yet, so that's probably why the Bears are favored. But I'll take a shot. Washington for 3 points is my upset. Tony, yours?
Give me Mr. Bryce Young.
You are going for the
Carolina Panthers.
You're going for 9.
This is the second straight week I'm rooting against Denver in an upset.
Yeah, it might work.
Didn't work out for me last time.
Might work this time. If Carolina wins that game, then we may be able to put an end to this contest because that would give you a huge lead with a 9-pointer. All right, we'll see how it turns out. Those are our picks. We got to go?
We got to go.
All right, Minnesota Rams coming up next. Stick around for it. Full 4 hours tomorrow. As I mentioned, Sean Lewis, Aztec head coach, among other things. And everybody, enjoy your day, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day based on that story we had to pass along a little bit ago. We are all lucky out there. For Tony, Scraby, Chris. See ya.
Peace out.